Thank you, Ian. A very, very beautiful Ferrari 250 LM from 1965. Staying on theme, Ferrari again, something much, much newer. This is the first hypercar. This is the Ferrari SF90. Hybrid V8 twin turbo. The V8 giving 780 brake horsepower, the 3 electrics taking it north of 1,000 horsepower. Lucy, stop! Driven by Lucy, how are you? Are you following him? How are you doing? So, throw some numbers at me, just 0 to 60. 0 to 60 I'm guessing is going to be about sub 3 seconds. Last year was red, last year was platinum, this year is yellow. Next year maybe green, maybe black, who knows? Who indeed knows? Now, coming up is a very, very, very special car. This is the At That. Body by Superleggera, touring Superleggera from Italy. Superleggera obviously being super light. Italian body, British craftsmanship. Can I open the door from this side? Save me walking around. Tell us all a little bit about the asset. So this is entered by Tom Harton Jr., isn't it? So this is one of Tom's cars, Duke of Marlborough. We'll find out later on. I'll ask Tom. That'll be a question for Tom himself, I think, James. Coming up next and back to Ferrari, the beautiful 246 G that came out of the factory. This was the car that Dino Ferrari was working on when he sadly passed away. To recognise Dino, the car was badged Dino. So on the stand as well, you'll see the 296 GTS, which is actually the first V6 Ferrari over there, because of course this was, as I say, this was badged Dino, 2.4 litre V6, 160, 170 or so brake horsepower. This was one of the cars that was used in the Persuader. So if, as I say, you're around about my age, which is way too old, you'll remember, can't even remember his name now, but Roger Moore and Tony Curtis, that was it. It was Tony Curtis that used to drive, and the GT, the GTB, the hardtop, the beautiful 2.4 litre V6 Dino. Mr. Dylan Miles. Dylan, the 300 SL, the Roadster. Tell us about the Roadster. I know you love a microphone.
Okay, well this is, arguably one of the most stylish cars ever built. It's a sort of ultimate Mercedes, really. They made about 1,858 300 SL Roadsters. Very advanced car for its time. Obviously, mechanical fuel injection, very powerful car, and by far probably one of the quickest cars of its day.
I was going to say, it was 150 mile an hour cruiser, wasn't it?
A touch under that.
Now this year it is the 60th anniversary of Lamborghini. It's the 60th anniversary of McLaren and 110th GT electric. Ricardo, who owns the company, as a boy loved the Alfa Romeo GT, the GTA Giulietta, which, as many of us have my age will remember, was a fantastic, was an iconic little Italian sports car back in those days. It was a petrol engine, 1.6 litre, 100 or so brake horsepower. Riccardo has brought his interpretation of this car, its design, right up to date, and given it a completely new powertrain, new build. It is similar proportions, a little bit bigger than the original, but not too dissimilar. The interesting thing about this car now, this is a fully electric car. This is the GT Electric. In terms of power, in terms of performance, it looks beautiful, but it goes like crazy. Nearly 600 brake horsepower this car has. Look, complete break from tradition for Lotus. This is they've coined a new expression with this. It's not an SUV. This is a hyper SUV. It's the Electra. It's brand new from Lotus. There are 3 variants: the Electra, the S, and the R. The Electra and the S having a mere 600 brake horsepower. Still an incredibly fast car. This is the beautiful R version, top of the range. 905 brake horsepower. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This car will accelerate to 60 in 2.95 seconds. It is beautiful inside, beautiful outside. The detail is typically Lotus. This is presented in a traditional Lotus green, which is just sets it off beautifully against the yellow calipers, etc. Tell us a little bit more about this again.
Yeah, so this is the Electra R, as you said, 905 horsepower, 0 to 60 takes 2.95 seconds. It's the first of the all-electric lifestyle products from Lotus. We've got a few more following. It's got 800-volt charging architecture, so you're actually able to do a 0 to 80% charge on this in 17 minutes. So that's a 300-mile range top-up in just 17 minutes. So it's, as well as going a far distance of 373 miles, you can still top it up exceptionally quickly.
And here we have Mr. Spires. Yes, it's the James Bond DB5, with Mr. Bond himself driving it. Mr. Spires, president of Aston Martin Works. Aston Martin Works have been a partner client of ours for many years. Paul's over there with the range of amazing cars. Of course, it's 110 years of Aston Martin this year, so we have this incredible collection of Astons, thanks to Paul and to Aston Martin themselves. Over there, on Wednesday, we unveiled the Aston Martin DB12 Volante. It's the European debut of that car. It was launched a couple of weeks ago in Monterey, so an enormous privilege for us to be able to pull the drapes off that car. But Paul, I was expecting something else. The guys said to me that you wanted to make a bit of an impression and play with some gizmos, so you brought this with you.
Yeah, well, I thought it was appropriate, since we're celebrating 110 years of Aston Martin. It takes a while once I've put the ignition on. There we go.
Brilliant.
And this is actually made from carbon Kevlar, so it is actually bullet resistant.
Is it?
We did actually shoot some small arms fire at it to make sure that it actually works. So it does all that kind of good stuff.
What about the wire wheels? Did you go that far as well to...
Yeah. No, we have got simulated spinners that come out, but one of my favourite things is this wonderful smoke machine, which Chris gave us from the film.
Oh, yeah, you can't see me. Where have I gone?
No, I'll turn it off now, David. I do apologise. It's one of my favourite gizmos. It works on a separate system.
Why didn't you bring this the last couple of days?
We want to keep the best till last.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. Paul's kept the best for Boodle's Ladies' Day here at Salon Prive. Listen, thanks ever so much.
Thanks, David.
Take
care.
Cheers, you too. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Aston Martin Works. Now, a bike, obviously. This is Thornton 100 Motors. Now, I can guarantee you have not seen one of these before, because this was given its global debut on Wednesday. This is the 1929 Rolls-Royce Phantom 2, re-engineered by Electrogenic as a fully electric Phantom. This is the car that Henry Royce 100 years ago envisaged coming to the road. His premonition was to have an electric Rolls-Royce at some point in the future, and this is it. This car is absolutely you wouldn't know it's electric. Inside, outside, 1,000 rivets in that engine. It's an incredible piece of work. It is the only one in the world. It's been built for a private collector. Tell us a little bit about the car. I was expecting Steve. You're not Steve.
No, I'm not Steve. Over there, some Land Rovers and a beautiful Porsche 356. And you're more than welcome to come have a look.
The great thing about Electrogenic is that they don't cut, they don't drill or anything. It is the batteries, the electrification literally slots into the holes left by the engines which are taken out. So you can literally, it's a sort of plug and play scenario. If you want, you can switch it back to combustion. But as we're saying, you know, they can do this to a number of cars, to a 356, to a Land Rover Defender. I've actually been in the E-Types as well that are over there, and you think that you need the sound for the authenticity of it, but once you're in it and you're driving, it is absolutely amazing. You kind of get over the fact that there's no noise. In fact, we went for that. Guys, thank you. From the quiet to the absolute opposite. Thank you. The beautiful. Adrian, you're not getting the mic. This is the beautiful Pura Sangue. 6.5 litres of Ferrari V12. The size of, forget the size of the car in terms of performance. This is not an SUV. This is a Ferrari 4-door sports car. And look at it, it is an incredible car. 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, over 200 mile an hour top speed. Beautiful sculpted 4 seats. It is absolutely, it's to die for. Adrian, I'm going to give you the mic. Do you know what I actually did this year? I turned the tour around from the right to the left so that I wasn't leaning across cars this year. And there's always one that brings the left hooker when I was hoping for right. So anyway, how are you doing? Good to see you again.
Yeah, no, likewise, David. It's fantastic to be here. And we're thrilled to have the Pura Sangue here. As you rightly say, the direct translation is a thoroughbred, and it truly is a thoroughbred in every way, and a first in so many ways for Ferrari. Our first 4-door, 4-seat Ferrari, our first car with Ferrari active suspension, and rear hinged opening doors, as well as kind of a wider angled front doors, so access is fantastic. And really sort of, you know, it's, you've hit the nail on the head, the fact that it's not an SUV as such. It's more a proper Ferrari that can be enjoyed in different situations with 4 people. It's phenomenal.
So to say, when you look in the back, it's 4 genuine 4 seats. There's
Go ahead and come around and open the door on this side if you want.
I will do that.
Oh, hop in.
Hop in, and I'll be off. Hop in. So these are does it open itself or is it electric?
Yeah, there we go, just put it open.
And yours?
Yep.
How cool is that?
There we go. Proper thing. Car of the day.
It is a proper thing. Carbon everywhere, 4 seats.
And this one's in Grigio Titania with a Tortora interior. It's a really well-spec car. And we've also, I think, kind of fair to say, we've probably got one of the best selection of Ferraris that we've ever bought to Salon Prive this year.
In every sense. Look at that. And continuing with the Italians, the Lamborghini has taken, which is also on the stand there with Lamborghini Birmingham. Over 600 brake horsepower on this, 0 to 60 in 3.5 or so seconds. The car's been raised by 40 millimeters. It's been widened front and back by 30 to 40 millimeters. It's got the under trays on it, so you can genuinely take this car off-road, can't you, Chris? Chris from Lamborghini Birmingham, one of our oldest clients here at Blenheim Palace. Welcome as always, Chris, to Salon Prive.
Thanks, David.
Have I missed anything?
No, you've covered it all. I can go now.
Nicked all your lines?
No, I don't need to do anything.
So, this is a great car. As I say, Chris, they're all sold out, aren't they? I mean, it's...
Yeah, we're in a very fortunate position at the moment that all the products we're releasing are pre-sold. We have teaser launches and all those sorts of things, but yeah, we're in a very fortunate position where all of our product is forward sold.
I think we're very fortunate as well here at Salon Prive because the Starato is the new model for this year within the Huracan. The Revelto obviously is the new one, the successor to the Aventador, the HPV, so it's the first ever hybrid Lamborghini with over 1,000 brake horsepower. It's only the second or so time these two have been seen in the UK, so we're very privileged to have you here. Thank you, Chris. Lamborghini Birmingham, thank you very much, Chris, with the Storato. Now, another car that you will not have seen before here at Salon Prive. The beautiful, look at the sun comes out for the Rolls-Royce Spectre. With Lord Casper sat there in the back. Hello, Casper. Giving me a wave. This is the beautiful Rolls-Royce Spectre, the first electric Rolls-Royce ever produced. I'm going to say nothing for a minute so you can just all have a look at that. How beautiful is that? Gorgeous 23-inch wheels, two-tone body. The doors, I think, are the widest doors on any production car, 1.5 metre wide. Beautifully made inside and out. I could go on, but I'm not going to hog the mic. Tell us a little bit more about this beautiful Rolls-Royce Spectre.
Well, indeed. So it's taken us a few years to get this car out to our customers. My first deliveries are happening in Q4 of this year. But it was back in April 1900 that Charles Rolls, our founder, his prophecy was that electric engines or electric motors were the way forwards for super luxury cars because they don't make any sound, they don't emit any emissions, they don't smell, and there's no vibrations. Ideal for our brand as Rolls-Royce. And so 123 years later, this is what we have. Now we deliver Spectre with 584 brake horsepower. With 900 newton meters of torque and a range of 329 miles, which is the same as all of our ICE engines that we have now at the moment, because we wouldn't want to supply anything to our customers that's any less than we do already. As you can see, I've got 4 up in the car. We've got some very distinguished guests in the car today. I'm just going to ask the the passenger here to open the door, and you'll see this car's finished in chartreuse, which is a new colour that we pulled together for Spectre. And it's finished in seashell, peony pink, and also chartreuse on the inside. So the range of colours that we have are immense, and you'll be able to see from the stand the ghosts that we have there.
So it is.
I think hopefully, well, I'm sure it is.
It's
if
silent.
I'm in the back.
Sorry?
If I'm in the back.
Of course. But no, that there is literally just a piece of art. That is it. Underneath there, the back. None of these do anything at all. It just sits there and looks pretty. And I personally have it.